Hi. I realize it's been a while since I actually gave some book recommendations, and that is because I needed to find the books that I had stolen from the library some years ago. I found them locked away in the basement and returned them, and now I have my library card, and then I finally started using it. So, with that being said, these are some of the books that I have read I think over the past month or so that I have liked. I don't want to be a hater. I don't want to be one of those people who hates on other books because I am a writer. And so I don't want to ever just rain on someone else's parade. They spent a lot of time working on this story, even if it feels like they didn't, even if I see a bunch of typos, even if it feels like it's rushed, even if it feels like they just threw this out there and someone just said catch and now we're going to publish. Regardless, I'm not going to call out any books that I hate, dislike, or that I feel are terrible. I'm just going to talk about the books that I like because that's what we do here. Okay. So, I will also mention books that had me but lost me and I feel like they could have improved. First things first, we're going to start with Persepolis by Marjane Satrapi. What? I might have misspelled it here, but it is Marjane Satrapi. Satrapi? Look.
Marjane Satrapi. Marjane Satrapi.
It's this graphic novel that I had read years ago by her, and it is set in Iran. It's actually more of an autobiography graphic novel. It's really cool. And I love how simple but detailed the drawings are. And so it's set in Iran during the time of the Islamic Revolution, and I found myself learning so much about that time, such as Germany's involvement in a way, just more about the culture and yeah, it was a really good reread if you like graphic novels and if you like a bit of history, a bit of learning, if you like. And then I had gotten into Megan Miranda and her thriller, would they be considered thriller mystery novels? I have read The Perfect Stranger and The Only Survivor. I will say, I think The Only Survivor is my favorite of hers. I tried starting or looking at the others and I feel like maybe I just need a break because she has a way of writing her stories where she kind of tells you the past and the present at the same time and eventually it all comes together so you realize what's fully happening. And I liked it when I read Perfect Stranger. I loved it when I read The Only Survivors, but as I started looking at her other novels, I was like, maybe I need a break and then I'll come back and maybe I'll love it again. But anyway, no, Perfect Stranger, highly recommend. The Only Survivor, I highly recommend. And should I give you a quick recap? I feel like I'm always doing a quick recap. But Perfect Stranger is about a young girl who kind of blew up her life. And we get more details on that later. But she rekindles a relationship with an old friend and they both decide to move to middle of nowhere kind of Pennsylvania and start over. And while they're there, not only does someone die, but around the same time her friend disappears and she becomes entangled in this situation, so she has to find a way out as well as a way to find her friend. The Only Survivors is about eight a group of eight kids who their senior year they survived something, they survived an accident, and year after year they come back together to kind of commemorate what they survived together. But there's also a dark underbelly behind why they come back together and around each of these gatherings. I don't think I'm giving it a great description, but I'm telling you, I like it better than Perfect Stranger. Highly recommend if you like thriller or mystery or just kind of who done it, what's going on, unraveling. Then, ooh, we have the Wednesday letters. I didn't write down the author's name, but the thing with the Wednesday letters, I liked the premise. I liked the premise, but the execution or just the end result. I don't know. The premise was good. What they did with it was not so great. And I think I'm actually going to do a rewrite of it because I kind of like taking people's stories and then if I don't like the ending, I'm gonna create my own ending. The Wednesday letters is about uh, what did I even say it's about? So there's this couple, this man and woman, and when they got married, the husband promised his wife that every single Wednesday he would write her a letter. And he kept that promise all the way until they died. And they actually died on the same day. However, when they die, they have three children who now get to uncover some things about their parents that they never would have guessed. And it sends some of them spiraling, but there's some healing and trauma and weirdness around what they discover. But yeah, the execution, I'm telling you, you don't have to read it. I give it like, I think I gave it 2 stars on Goodreads. Anyway, I'm not gonna bash it because I liked the idea and the premise, and I'm sure they worked very hard on it. Oh, and then the last thing he told me by Laura Dave Davy. Look, Laura Dive. I think that says Dive. I must confess, my handwriting is a bit even for me. So the last thing he told me, I didn't love it. I did not love it. The premise was so good. This is another one where the premise was good, but the execution was. But I'm not going to bash it because it definitely did a better job than the Wednesday letters. And one thing I will say too is I enjoyed myself every now and then. It's like I would enjoy myself and then I'd be out of it, and then I'd enjoy myself and be out of it. But can you believe this was a Reese Witherspoon recommendation, and it has kind of soured the taste in my mouth regarding Miss Witherspoon's recommendations, because this is, I didn't even pick it because it was a Reese Witherspoon recommendation. I just picked it up, I checked it out, and once I got home, that's when I saw that she recommended it. And now I'm like, maybe you shouldn't have a spoon. Anyway, bad puns aside, this was one of those mystery thrillers, and it was about a woman who married a man with his teenage daughter, and a few months into their marriage everything blows up. He disappears, but he leaves her with a note saying protect her, meaning his daughter, and she has to kind of figure out, protect her from what? Where are you? Where'd you go? Where did you go? What did you do? Who are you? And the premise is good. Again, the premise is good. Execution, and then we have Delirium. I am getting back into the stories that I read when I was younger. And I had read Delirium, I think in high school, maybe like senior year of high school or early college, but it's definitely YA and the kind of dystopian, but it's not Hunger Games and it's not Divergent and it's not Maze Runners. It is, ah, anyway, I love it. So it's Delirium by Lauren Oliver, and I came back to read it so I could finish it, and I love it just as much as I did back then. It is the story of a dystopian world where, imagine if love was a crime. No, not just a crime. If love is considered a disease, an illness. And so everyone, when they turn 18, is given this procedure so that they are free from falling in love. They're given the cure. And there's this whole entire narrative given to them in school around the illness that is love, where Shakespeare is a warning around love, and where they combine science and religion and all of these things to prepare these minds that they don't want to be in love. They're scared of being in love, and they tell them all the symptoms of falling in love. But I love it. I love it, and it's so good. So I just finished it. I just picked up the second one, and I am ready to read. Highly recommend it. Then we have Lock and Key by Sarah Dessen. Another one, another author who I was like, I'm hopping back into her. I read so many Sarah Dessen books in middle school and high school, and I thought I would love this. And I kind of did and I kind of didn't. It feels like, everyone keeps talking about their old YA novels that they read that are just disappointing them. And it kind of was that, where I think it's still good in the sense of reading it as a child, but reading it as an adult, I don't know. Did I say I wasn't going to bash any authors? I think I did. Anyway, like the story is actually good. The execution isn't bad. I think I think it's one of those, you reread an author and you realize you're picking up on things that you didn't pick up on before. And that's kind of what happened. I was picking up on things I didn't pick up on before, and I was like, I don't know how to feel about this. Anyway, it's about a girl who her mother abandons her, and then she has to be taken care of by her sister, who she thought she believed abandoned her and her mother when she left for school years ago. So yeah, but it actually is a good story. The plot and everything is good. Anyway, and then lastly, I'm going to mention a my handwriting. The Accidental Genius of Weasel High. This is an by Rick. I'm gonna put it on the screen by Rick something or other. And this is another graphic novel, and it's really cute. If you don't like reading children's things, you probably won't enjoy it. But it's this young guy who just enters high school. He has his two friends. It's the things that he misunderstands, the arguments he has with his sister, the fun times he has with his mom. It's just quirky and weird, and it's probably like, oh, why can't I remember it? The Wimpy Diaries. It's probably giving that, although I never read those. Yeah, no, it was a really good graphic novel. It was simple, it was cute, the illustrations were nice. It was fun. So those are the books that I read up to now. I'll probably do this. I'm not gonna do this that often. I don't think I have it in me. And also I don't think I would have that many books that I would read in a month. I'm not a slow reader, but I'm not that fast. So maybe I'll just do this quarterly because I think that'll have more books included. I'm definitely trying to read younger stories, read more graphic novels. I love mystery and thriller. I do love my rom-coms and I also like reading stories from other countries as well. So I might get into the Chinua Achebe. I might go back to Hank Sipser. Yeah, we're just gonna see how many varieties of books I can throw into my arsenal. I'm gonna put the books I recommend on the screen, but otherwise, if you've read any of these, let me know. Let me know if you enjoyed them and let me know what you thought of them. Maybe you disagree with me. But otherwise, I think that is it for today. Until the next book recommendations. All right, bye.